The breaking point was ending up in the medical tent at Ironman Kona after becoming hyponatremic, low sodium levels in the blood. I distinctively remember riding out to Hawi, the halfway point of the 112-mile bike portion of the course, in wind so intense that I saw a woman about my size get picked up by the wind and dumped into the ditch on the side of the road. Yes, I was freaking out and probably not 100% on top of my fueling needs, but I noticed on the way back that I had a low-grade headache and was getting swollen. I knew those were early signs of hyponatremia, so I pulled a couple of gastrolyte tablets, a glucose and electrolyte combination, out of my pocket and ate them ASAP. Within a few minutes, I had to pee like a racehorse. I then spent the remaining time of the race wondering if and why any of my fellow teammates from New Zealand had similar issues. When the race was said and done, I asked the other Kiwi women how they found the race. What was incredibly interesting was that those of us in the high hormone phase, a few days out from getting our periods, had borderline hyponatremic issues. 2 ended up in the medical tent with clinically low blood sodium and on IV drips. My friends who were in the low hormone phase, day 1 through 14 of your menstrual cycle, starting with the first day of your period, had great races and didn't have any fluid or heat issues, even though we all did the same heat acclimation protocols and followed the same nutrition protocols. This prompted me to change my PhD topic from altitude to heat, and to try to figure out why those of us in the high hormone phase had experienced such problems. That's when I decided to become a biohacker for the female race. I was already living in New Zealand and studying for my PhD in environmental exercise physiology, nutrition science, at the University of Otago, where I had access to a lab, state-of-the-art data analysis systems, and lots of active friends, teammates, and colleagues. With full access to an environmental chamber, core temperature monitoring systems, blood analysis equipment for things such as hemoglobin, hematocrit, fluid balance, and other hormones, a refractometer for urine analysis, and fully supportive PhD supervisors who are wicked smart, and lab managers. I went to work researching how hormones impact thermoregulation, macronutrient usage, hydration, performance, and recovery. Right out of the gate, it was apparent that sex differences extend far beyond ponytails and sports bras. I soon developed what has become my mantra today: women are not small men. That may seem blatantly obvious, but for ages, that's how most sports nutrition manufacturers treated us. They simply formulated products that had fewer calories and put them in pretty packages, maybe tossing in extra calcium or a bit of soy protein, and labeled it women's specific. For many years, women got the nutritional equivalent of shrink it and pink it. That's a huge disservice, and it's time to acknowledge, treat, train, and fuel women as the different physiological beings we are. Hormone power. Hormones are your body's messengers. They course through your veins, delivering orders from your organs to your brain, and vice versa, to perform nearly everything you do. Hormones tell your body when to eat, sleep, and even when to grow. They give us our appetite and sex drive. They help us have babies. They make us happy, sad, and giddy in love. In men, these hormones are pretty stable day in and day out, though they certainly change over a lifetime. In women, however, it's another story, and that story centers on the menstrual cycle. The menstrual cycle not only has a profound effect on your fertility and moods, and chocolate cravings, it also can significantly affect your training and performance. Yet very few coaches and trainers take it into consideration with their athletes, even those in the most elite competitive spheres. Case in point, marathon world record holder Paula Radcliffe recently made headlines around the world when she dared to speak about periods and performance, calling out coaches and sports doctors who intervene in ways that make things worse. The legendary endurance runner plainly proclaimed, "They are men and just don't understand." Radcliffe recalled a time in 2013 where British athletics medics gave fellow runner Jessica Judd norethisterone, synthetic progesterone.